Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be going through P5 Science end of year papers on Singapore Chinese Girls School question number 31. So 31A, right, is on plant transport systems. Okay, where we are being deal with the food carrying tube, or sometimes it could be the water carrying tube, depending on how the question is being phrased. So okay, we have seen what remove the outer ring of the stems as shown. Only the food carrying tube is being removed. So only the food carrying tube is being removed. Water carrying tube is being remain intact. Okay, water carrying tube is remain intact. Okay, let me draw this part. Okay, so over here you observe that the fruit become bigger after some time. It become bigger. That means over here, right, it's trying to tell you, right, when you remove, right, somehow the fruit become bigger. So what causes it to happen? So you have to know that over here, right, before he cut this part, right, there's actually food that's made by this tree leaf. Okay, food that's made by this tree leaf transporting to all parts of the plant, including the fruits. Okay, so what happened now is that when you cut off this, right, that means this red color path no longer exists. So originally you should have food going here, right? It's not going to this path anymore. So it will allow more food to go into the fruit, causing it to become larger than it is used to be. Okay, because of the cut that you have done over here. So how do you explain this to this part? First, okay, it's a 2-mark question. So we state first what has happened. Okay, so first part, what has happened? So when the food carrying tube at part X are removed, the food from the tree leaf, okay, which I state over here, cannot be transported to other parts of the plant. Okay, in this case, so what happened? It will cause, or it will force more food to go into the fruit J instead, causing it to become larger. So the second part is actually how I will explain it. Okay, explain why fruit become bigger. So more food from the tree leaf is transported to fruit J, causing it to become larger. Okay, this word over here, this part over here is very important. Okay, important. Okay, because originally when you don't remove, right, there's actually food transport to J. There's still food transport to J. Okay, but only when you remove, right, more of it get transported to J, because some of it cannot be transported to other parts of the plant because you remove the food carrying tube. So this part is important. You must state. Okay, you must state the comparative adjective over here. Okay, so over here, ripe fruit J give out gas X. Okay, Xinhua wanted to investigate if gas X will help unripe fruit J to ripen more quicker, okay, or more faster. Okay, so he has only the items below. He may use some or all of the item. Okay, so over here you got 2 ripe fruit J and 2 unripe fruit J. Okay, so Xinhua used 2 identical clear container for his investigation. What items, okay, should it be placed inside the container for each setup? So over here, this is actually a very old PSLE question. Okay, it's 2018, question number 29. It's testing on you. How do you set up an experiment to test out your aim? So your aim is to check out if gas X can help to make the fruit ripen faster. And gas X come from where? Gas X come from a ripe fruit. Okay, so what happened is that your experiment setup should have something like this. Should have this fruit that is ripe. Okay, that will give out gas X, and you have another fruit that is unripe. Okay, maybe I put it here as green. Unripe here as gas X. Okay, so what happened is that the gas X, right, that is produced by the ripe fruit, right, will come and influence the unripe fruit J, causing it to ripen faster. Okay, in this case, right, one of these possible fruit that we are looking at is actually banana. So when banana is unripe, it's green. When it's ripe, it's yellow. So I'm gonna just put it in this case. So the yellow color shaded fruit over here is represent ripe fruit, which is the ripe banana. So if you put it next to the unripe banana, right, it will actually give out like a gas X, and this gas X will be came in contact with the unripe fruit J, or unripe banana, and will cause it to ripen faster. This is actually what we try to find out. Is this the case? Is this what will happen? So in this case, your experiment, right, will have one unripe and 1 ripe fruit J. Okay, then what about your control setup? Your control setup is for you to compare, confirm, right? So in this case, you should only have the unripe fruit J. Unripe. Okay, unripe fruit J. Don't have ripe fruit because you don't want gas X to influence the ripeness of the fruit. So no ripe fruit inside. So in this case will be one unripe fruit J. So, and what is the purpose of this control setup? The purpose of this control setup, okay, is to really do one thing, is to compare and confirm or to prove that the changes in the ripeness of the fruit J is really due to the presence of the ripe fruit J that give up gas X and not due to any other variable in the experiment. Okay, so in this case, you are really trying to check out this. So that's why your control must be 1 unripe fruit, and your experiment setup should be 1 unripe and 1 ripe. Okay, so what happens if this is true? That means if gas X really help the unripe fruit to become unripe faster. That means, right, this setup, the experimental setup, right, will take a shorter time to ripe. In this case, if this were to be a banana, right, that means the green color fruit will become yellow faster than the control setup. This is actually what we'll be looking at if this is true. This is a true statement. Okay, in this case, this is a true statement. Okay, so with that, we are more or less done with this question. Okay, thank you very much.